Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, Independent Stamping Up Demonstrator. Today I have a fun fold here for you. I think it's called a cascading card. Whatever the name of it is a fun fold. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to make and how to get the cute little equal border around that, even on a diagonal cut there. So this one is using the new Rise and Shine stamp set. It will be available March 3rd with the second release of the Celebration series. And this Rise and Shine is available with a $100 purchase. If you had the Christmas stamp set, Cup of Christmas, or Christmas Cheer stamp set, it came with the Cup of Cheer dies. And these Cup of Cheer dies will coordinate with this Rise and Shine. So even if you don't have the Christmas set and you get this, you can get the dies to match. And these are sticking around coming back next holiday season. So it might be a good idea to pick these up along with this cute stamp set. So I love this one because it has the coffee and tea puns in here and let's hang out soon. Oh my gosh, can't wait to get back to Katanning when I have a cup of tea with some of my sweet friends, yes, Kay, and my honey. And so we are going to be using this stamp set here and using the Cup of Cheers dies. So this fun fold here starts with a piece of 12 by 12 paper. Now I love this from my Heart Designer Series paper. It was in our mini catalog at the beginning with our kind of our Valentine's themed spring cards, but I think hearts can be used all year round. We've got so many loving things going on. We've got, even if you just want to show love to a friend, but you could also, anniversaries, birthdays, weddings, engagements. So just, I like to use it all year round. And of course, the red and the pink foils that were in this set were just in this set of papers. It was so pretty. And it's available till the end of this catalog in May 30, like the end of May. So you still have like time to get this beautiful paper. And it was super pretty. It was a specialty paper with the foils in it. So I'm going to be using this paper. I was inspired with these color combinations, not only as pink and red and black, just so adorable and so fun. But my friend Debbie Mookie sent me a card with these colors and it just really jazzed me up and I liked it. So we're going to be using a 12 by 12 piece of our black cardstock. Now we do sell certain colors in 12 by 12 and black is one of them. So it seemed to go really well. And boy, are my nails kind of clashing with these colors today. But we're going to use a 12 by 12 and we're going to cut it to 5.5. Now all the measurements and the products I use on this card are on my blog. If you go to CindyLeeBDesigns.com, under my photo, there's a search bar. And if you just put in the name of the stamp set or the technique, if you put in Cascade card fun fold or Rise and Shine or Cup of Cheer dies, the cards that I've made will come up and you can go right to the link. Also on the YouTube video underneath it, you're going to see in the description, I have visit my blog and I have a link. Just press that link. Why would you want to visit my blog? Well, you're going to find out any promotions from Stamping Up. You're going to find promotions from CindyLeeBDesigns.com and different additional pictures that might help you after you've watched the video. So the videos are really great to show you exactly what I'm doing, but take a look over at the blog and you might just find yourself there with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee looking at a few other videos and cards. So we're going to start with this 5.5 by 12 and we're going to make 3 4-inch sections. So what I did is I just took my trimmer out and I can get this here so you can see it. So I'm going to put my cutting blade at the top and I'm going to be using my gray. Boy, I have been using this trimmer non-stop. So it needs a little TLC, a little cleaning, a little dusting, I can see. So we're going to use the light colored blade. Just be careful. How many times have you accidentally cut when you wanted to score? Oh golly. So we're going to do 3 here. Now I could take the arm out on this and go to 8 inches, but I'm going to cheat and I'm just going to flip my paper and put it at 4 on this side. So I know I have, that's easy to do when you have equal panels there. So we've got 3 4-inch sections. Now the next part is we have to cut this diagonal here. So if you see the card here, we're going to cut this way, but you'd see you could also cut it this way if you want. So either way you cut it, you'll be able to make this card because this card can fold this way or you can fold it Like here's my other template. So you can have it folded this way, but you can also fold it this way. So whichever way you do it, you just have to make sure you cut the paper, the designer paper, the right way. So here we have our 3 sections of 4 inches. Now this section, this is 3 inches here. So what we're gonna do is I keep my grid papers, because it seems to me most of my grid paper gets messed up on the sides because I don't want to get my surface in the middle. So I always have these little pieces and I just cut them over, and they're great for me whenever I need to measure something. So I'm going to take and put the one corner down in the corner here of my grid paper. If you haven't bought a package of grid paper, it is a really, it's inexpensive, and I use this stuff all the time. So we want to make a mark at 3 inches. Now when you go to cut this, we're going to go from 3 inches up to the second score line here. So we're going across the score line and to this one. Now if you're cutting from this side, you would be going 3 inches across the score line up to the top of the other score line. So I'm going to show you how we could draw that line and cut it with our scissors, but it will be a lot smoother and precise if we use our trimmer. So what I'm going to do is find my 3-inch mark, and see, this is the 3-inch mark, and then this is the second score line. So if your mark's on this side, you want to go across this score line up to the top of this score line. So I'm going to put my, I'm going to put my pencil mark in the line, in the groove of the trimmer, and then I'm going to put the score line here. So I'm thinking you probably, okay, so the bottom, you can see I have that second score line in the groove, and at the top I have my pencil mark. So I have my pencil mark here, and down at the bottom I'm in my score line. As you can see, the score line is in the groove. Now when you go to cut into, I'm going to put my scoring blade down there. When you go to cut into it, if you start up here, sometimes I have okay and it just goes, but sometimes it kind of catches on the edge of the paper. So I just go a little bit into the paper, do my cut, and then just go back up and finish the cut. And then I don't get that like little mess up there. So now you can see we just made a simple diagonal cut there. And I have to admit, I was a little lazy, and like I said, I've been using my trimmer like crazy. I mean, crazy. I've been doing a lot of traveling and then going over to my daughter's and sitting with the puppies a few times, and then I just grab everything, put it in the bag. So I've been using my trimmer a lot to do cutting, and so it does need change. But black is a little tricky too. So we've got our card here. Now, as you see, we need to fill designer paper in here and in this section, but of course it's like this way. So it's going to go like this. So we need to get designer paper in here and in here. And that might seem daunting at first because you're thinking, oh, all those measurements, but really it's super simple. When you know you have to cut on a diagonal, you just look at the measurement on this side and the measurement on this side, and you just go in a little, the same amount, that 1/8 of an inch on each side, and then you just draw a line. So I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. So we're going to take a piece. Now, I had brought this out, and if you look at the measurement here, okay, I need 2 3/4 here, but I need 5 1/4 in here. So 2 3/4 plus 5 1/4 is 8. So I knew my paper was 8, and I can cut both of my designer papers at the same time. So if you're using my measurements, I've done it for you. You're just using an 8-inch piece by 2 3/4. I mean 3 3/4. So this is 3 3/4, so that you have it within the 4-inch panel. And then we just had to know how, and I'm cutting both pieces at the same time. So if you use my measurements, this is easy peasy for you. But if you're not using my measurements, say you had something bigger and you wanted to go up a little bit more, just do the same thing. Just go measure down like 1/4 of an inch from your measuring there. And so I know that this measurement was 3 inches, so I want to go to 2 3/4. So right here, I just made a mark at 2 3/4, and this measurement here was 4 1/4. Okay, so I just went to 4. So then all I had to do is take my ruler and line up one side at 4 inches and one side at 2 3/4, and then I just drew a line right across there. So now, as you can see, I'm cutting both sides. Now, I'm doing both designer papers that are going to go on the card, and as long as you like both patterns on the both sides. You might like this pattern and not have liked this pattern, then you would just have to cut two separate pieces. But since I liked both patterns, I could just cut both pieces at one time. So what we're going to do is bring our trimmer back out. Oh, I use that trimmer all the time. As you can tell, it needs a little tender love and care, a little, oh gosh, it needs dusted. You know, if you keep, you know, a clean toothbrush handy, and you can get down in the groove to get the little dusts of paper. So we're just going to put that, we lined up that pencil mark in both edges of the groove, and we're just cutting down on that designer paper. Easy peasy. Alrighty, so now we have our two sheets that we're going to put on our card. So why don't we just go ahead and pop those on there. Just put some snail here. And we're going to open this up, and you can see we have a beautiful 1/8 inch border the whole way around that panel. I remember when I first started card making, I thought, oh, how are they cutting those diagonal lines? And then I was like, oh, it's just, oh, just get this measurement and connect them, and it's perfect. It was like it just made for there. So there we go. We're going to put this one on now. Oh, I hate covering up a piece of designer paper that I like both sides. But as I said, if you have different one, you just cut two different ones. But I was able to totally, now the one I really want to be actually I'm going to open this up here, it'll be a little easier, is I really want to have a nice straight line at the top of the Cascade here, because if I'm a little crooked on the bottom, you're not really seeing that at all because it's like kind of hidden. So it's really forgiving there if you're a little bit off here. But if you did your measurements right, it should be pretty near perfect. So there we go. We have the card made. So I'm going to show you what we're doing here. So I took and wanted to add some more black into this. I just thought the black needed to pop out here. And so I just used a 2, and I do believe this is 2.5. Is it? Yes, a 2.5 inch circle punch, and or you can use your layering circles. I just use my punch as a quickie there, and then I used the 2.25 inch punch as my circle because I thought I needed a little bit of contrast between the cup and the black. So then I'm just going to pop that onto the front of the card, get some dimensionals out here. I'm trying to reorganize my craft room. I got those really cool storage by Stampin' Up! For my ink pads and my pens, and I put it off for a while. I had my ink pads stored in the boxes, the original boxes they came in. And if you ever get a little bit of a, just clean it up there. Sometimes I've used my punches get used a lot at class, so they get a little bit used. So then we're going to put this here. Oh, so back to the I put it off for a while. So I'm trying to get this place cleaned up so I can do a video to show you what goes on behind the scenes at Cindy Lee B Designs. So here we go. We've got a nice kind of stage for the cup there. And then I just die cut my Flirty Flamingo cup, and those dies, you can cut the cup either way. I love that they put that in there because you can stamp the stamp two different ways. So I can stamp it this way, but I can also turn it over. As you can see, there's no edge to catch on this because they're made reversible so that they both perfectly can stamp either way. So then I just popped up my cup on here, but before I did that, I made this little tag. Now I want to show you a little trick I did with this tag too, is I took and put a staple into my white, and then I took my tag and I placed my tag exactly where I wanted it so that because first time I did it, I stamped it and then I stapled it and it was like this and it looked just not good. So I just, this time I stapled it, then I die cut it with the staple in place, and then we'll put that die over there so it doesn't get lost. Then I went back and I stamped it, and so that my staple was in the right place. Now I wanted to make a cute little tea bag hanging out here. So I am just going to put a dimensional, I'm going to put my, can you see here? I'm putting my twine, my white whisper white twine, and I'm putting a dimensional right there. And I'm going to put, I might just stick another little, I could use a little one, so I'm going to stick another one there. Okay, now I have my string coming off, and I'm going to put it onto my cup, because then I can make my string as tight as I want it. So I put the Rise and Shine using the red. I thought the red really went well. And then you just put that on your cup, and then just put, technically you can put another dimensional to hold this in place. You can make this, your tea bag as loose, the tea, string as loose as you want it to be. And I'm putting a dimensional on there, and then just put a couple more dimensionals on the back of the teacup before you put it onto its little white stage there. So we'll take our dimensionals off there and snap those over. And we put our cup right there. And you're seeing all the colors. You're seeing the flirty flamingo come out. You're seeing the red, and you're seeing the black. It's just really neat to use those three colors. And I love that I'm never at a loss of what colors to use, because the designer series paper does all the work for me. So there we go. We've got that part done. Now I wanted to do something up here. And in that stamp set, there is, here we go, this Make Today Amazing. So I'm like, rise and shine, make today amazing. So what I did is I just stamped that on a 3/4 inch piece, and then I just made a pennant end. You can make a pennant end with your, you can make it with your triple banner punch, but I usually have my hexagon, it's a retired one, laying around. And so I just pop the edge of, let's just pretend this is it. Like you would just pop the edge of your paper in and just cut it out just like that. And now that's a little bit bigger, but you can also use, if you have any of your square punches laying around, you can also do that. Like you would just take, let me grab a piece of paper here. So I have a piece here, and just use that corner of your, you can make any type of pennant that you want. Now this is a big piece of paper, but let me see, if I just went to both the ends, you can see I made a pennant end there. It's a little deeper depending on what punch you're using, but just take a look at your punches, because there's all kinds of different ways that you can use them. So I just made the Make Today Amazing, and I did red to bring that red out again, and I just put it on dimensionals, and I popped it up on that upper part of designer series paper. I'm always trying to use every stamp in the set when I'm making a card. It's like a little challenge to me. So I just put that. I want to put it there. And it's just like if there's something there, really cute. So on this one, I just took one of our 3x3 envelopes, folded back the flap of the envelope, and then I just stamped, "You've got this, but first tea." I have to say I was raised on tea. I mean, when we were literally in like first grade we got up in the morning, my mom had tea sitting by each of our places at the kitchen table with our toast or our cereal, whatever we're having for breakfast. But we all grew up on having a cup of tea in the morning. But I have to say, probably as I got older, I don't know, in my 30s, I started drinking coffee, and I do like coffee, but tea is my first love. So here I put the tea on here, and you can just pop in a tea bag there in the 3x3 envelope, and then I just used my stitched rectangles dies, and I stamped that, and then I just put a "Let's Hang Out Soon." So that goes to one of my fun tea drinking friends. But on this one, we're gonna make it a coffee card. So what we're gonna do is just leave this blank, but we're gonna stamp on the inside here. So I just took and measured out what I would need here. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we are going to use this stamp set. We're going to do a flirty flamingo cup. So let's see here. As you can see, I always have my blocks. I haven't cleaned them off yet. I always have them marked for my girls at class. And I tell them, you know, stamp this first, stamp it on the right, da 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 da. So here we go. Actually, look, stamp on right. Ah, there you go. But you're not punching out the... Okay, so we are going to stamp that Flirty Flamingo cup. I went with Flirty Flamingo because my die cut on the front was Flirty Flamingo. And let's just hope that this little cup cooperated with me. Ah! Oh my gosh, the heavens are opening up. It went perfectly while on camera. So there we go. We've got our cute little teacup. Now this set has this sweet little steam. We had a set years ago that had this little, oh, I just love these steam curls. So you're just going to put that coming. And I use Flirty Flamingo because I'm going to be using red for my sentiment. And I'm going to go a little bit over the steam. So I wanted a darker color. So I'm going to use the red. And we are going to put, but first, you've got this, but first. So I'm going to ink up that with red, real red. And so I'm just going to put this right on the corner of the cup. You've got this, but first, hopefully I'm not wiggling there. Ah, look what Dum Dum did. Ah. Oh well, I can fix that later. Do as I say, don't do as I did. Now, my girls in Pittsburgh would be saying, ha ha ha, Cindy, you made a mistake. No, they wouldn't be making fun of me. They would just be like, uh-huh, Cindy, there you go. So anyhow, I'll have to figure out how to fix my little droppies there. So what we're going to do, though, is make that little ellipsis with my red marker here. So make sure I'm not using cherry cobbler. I'm using real red Stampin' Right marker. And then I'm going to put 3 little dots, that little ellipsis. Okay. And I sure hope you didn't catch my hair in the video there. Haha, pulled up in a pony and it needs colored. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put coffee in there. Now I do know that I did I take coffee out? Yes, I did. So we're gonna use that little coffee stamp. I love that it's photopolymer. And then we're going to notice those little taps I'm making. You don't have to do CPR with these little stamps. So we're gonna do the word coffee in here. But first, coffee. There we go. Now, see, I'm just sitting here wondering, what can I do down here? I wonder. Let's try to do a little first aid here. We've got some cute flowers in here. Here's a little flower and a medium-sized flower that's in the set. You can see here. And let's just play around here. Take off my little steam, put that aside. And we've got a little heart. We'll take coffee off of here. And we will... Ooh, and these are our reversible ones too. So if we put a little heart here over that little blob, little stamp, and I'm going to put a little, try to cover up that little blob. We'll see if it works. Who knows, it might not. Kind of looks dumb. Maybe if I put this one on. Or maybe I should just redo that simple piece of paper. How many times do we do that? And this is a new ink pad too. I just got one of the newer ink pads or replaced my other one. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll put a little pearl in there. I don't know. It looks like I kind of made a mess. Yeah, I don't like that. You'll see this card with a different inside on my blog. So look how cute that is. No, you know what? I'll show you how cute that is. No, I made one earlier with tea, and look, I had red fingers. So anyhow, that's a cute little inside there. You go from that. Hearts would have been good on there to go with the heart motif on the outside. But I don't know. I might be able to put a little pearl on. Let's try that. Let's just do that. Let's put let me get my pearls out and stick a pearl. Whoop, there we go. Let's stick a pearl in there. Maybe that'll jazz it up. You know, when you're wearing a t-shirt and you put on a fancy necklace, it does something. Oh, that's does something for you. Hey, there you go. That fixed it, I think. I think that fixed it. Yep, I'm going with it. So let me just put that. I mean, sometimes I'll just, you know, flip this paper over, and I would have used it to stamp for something else, and I don't get, but, you know, sometimes you just have to say, it's handmade, and the little imperfections we have make it that it's homemade. I mean, think about the time that your little kids brought things home from school that were homemade. Oh, no, actually, that's cute, and I ended up using those. Aha, we fixed it, girls. All right, and guys, if you're watching. So there you go. You've got, but I do have a little, oh, I might have to just put a little something here. I have a red dot there. Oh gosh, this red was not cooperating with me today. So anyhow, before this video becomes 2 hours long, just want to welcome you guys. If this is the first time you ever watched a video, go over to my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com, and you'll find more fun stuff over there. Give me a like on YouTube, even if it was a little long. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.